in like, what, 2 weeks? Like 15 days, around there?
Around there.
Okay, I'm not really sure, if asking this is going to be useful, but why would you partially complete 30 pages instead of, say, completing and uploading 20 pages or 25?
That will happen to make up for lost time on my birthday, which is the next Wednesday.
I'm sorry, what about your birthday? What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to upload all those pages, all the main pages in a bunch on my birthday, which is next Wednesday.
Okay, well, until then, I think I'll just keep uploading Sonic 2 Revolution because, I want to please your fans even if you don't. Chris, why would you?
I put up a new page yesterday as well. One page I had.
So yep, I saw that actually. That one page plus, I think you had 2 pages where you killed Simona. So that's 3 pages total, in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, anyway.
I do 2 pages a day. That means I've uploaded, in the past 15 days, I've uploaded 30 pages of my own. And when's your birthday? Like 8 days from now? So I'll have another 16 pages up. So that's 46.
You are mistaken. We're not talking about 8. We're not talking about 8 days. My birthday is on the 24th of February.
My mistake. So 6 days. Okay. Well, I'll have 12 new pages by then, in addition to the 30 I've already uploaded. I'm sorry, I didn't know when your birthday was.
Well, it's specifically stated on my bio page on the Wikipedia, and in a couple other places, the 24th of February, 1982.
Hey, Chris, when is my birthday?
I don't know. I did not study your bio. I did not study your bio.
Well, Chris, it's on my bio page on the Astropedia. Why wouldn't you know it?
Well, I did not make
if I'm supposed to know your birthday, don't you know mine? Chris, I'm kind of hurt.
Okay, well, I apologize for that. And after we're done here, I'll go to your bio page and put in my mind when your birthday is.
Nah, you don't have to do that. Don't worry about it. I'd rather you work on pages than go look up info about me. Because, I actually, I don't know your birthday because I've been working on my pages rather than, looking up your bio. Yeah, so I do really have to recommend that you begin uploading those 30 pages immediately. Like, as soon as we're done with the call or whatever, just get to work on it. I mean, stay up all night if you have to get those pages up. Because here's the thing about the way fans work. If you leave your fans in the dark for a week or 2 weeks or a month or however long, it really doesn't matter if you're partially completing some things, because if you don't put out any product, then your fans have nothing to work with. Have you ever heard of the game Duke Nukem Forever?
I'm sorry, you said Duke Nukem Forever?
Yeah, well, the Duke Nukem video games. You ever played any of those?
I have seen samples of that game.
Okay. Well, the company that made those, they were working on a game called Duke Nukem Forever. And that was going to be, like their next great title. And they were working on that for actually about 15 years. And they kept promising, we've got the engine built, we've got the characters designed, we've got all this built, and, all that's left is for us to release it. And they never released it because they kept retooling and tinkering with it. And finally, the company actually went out of business. So now there won't ever be any other Duke Nukems. And if you keep doing the same thing, Sonic 2 is going to go out of business. Well, not permanently, because I have Sonic 2 Revolution, so it'll live on in some form.
Well, still, your revolutions are not the original Sonic 2 pages of which only I can draw up and tell.
But what they are is existence, and the fans appreciate that. Your pages are not existence. And if you stop Sonichu, then, you know, the fans are going to want something.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess. Well, don't worry. You will see all those pages in the completion of the 10th book.
Okay. Does this mean I'm a little confused? You remember when I told you? Well, of course you remember. I brought it up plenty of times about how you really need to either, you know, do some sort of major reboot of Sonichu or else just come up with a completely different comic because, you know, all of the elements that you stole from other franchises. Are you still, like, thinking about that? Or because if you're going to finish book 10, then...
I have been thinking about that, actually.
What do you think about it?
Some of those changes will be talked about in the clip show that's going to be in book 11.
So is book 11 like going to be a transition from the current Sonichu to a new one?
It's a transition.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually not really what a reboot is about. See, what you're doing, like a transition, suggests the Sonichu that exists now is going to be like part of the same universe or world as whatever new Sonichu. What a reboot is a hard stop. It's you reset completely. You start over from scratch. Everything that came before is just means nothing. It's null and void. Like, for example, like the Spider-Man movies, you know, they aren't in the same world as the comic. They were sort of a reboot because they told everything over from the beginning.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's... I can sympathize with you on this. I mean, you've been working on Sonichu for, 10 years now, and the thought that you have to abandon it completely and start over with something new, I understand that that's kind of a scary thought. But it is true. Have you, what do you think of Sonichu Revolution, by the way? Have you been reading it? I'm only like 7 pages in right now. But.
I have to look at it, and I did not like the way you were killing characters left and right. That's no good. It's just terrible.
Well, yeah.
Don't go killing characters. That just does not. That just does not work. It's like doing zombie X-Men.
Yeah.
Marvel zombies.
I remember that was actually a pretty popular comic, wasn't it?
It's actually on the PlayStation Network digital comic download, only on the PSP right now.
Oh, well, I've seen it in stores. Well, it was pretty popular, was my point.
But that's the point. That's still like, killing. It's just like killing everybody left and right.
Chris, how many comic books and TV shows and movies and, whatever other media have you seen where characters die? Do you think they're all bad?
Yes. Yeah, they are bad because that's just totally sad. And plus, to do it in such a gory way, it's just terrifying. It's like any of the Saw movies, especially like the first trap in Saw 6.
Did you like those movies?
That was horrifying.
Did you like those movies, Chris? The Saw movies?
Yeah, I liked them. I mean, I enjoyed the...
you liked them,
Alec,
but there's death in it. How could you like a movie that has death in it, Chris? Death is bad. You said death is bad.
I'm not talking about...
Death
I'm not
is
saying... I mean, yeah. But I'm not talking about the death part. I did not say I like the death part. I like the building of the character of John Kramer in the movies.
But the point is, you still like the movies overall, right? I mean, you went and see them. You'd probably see them again.
Yeah, I mean, they were I mean, I would admit they are horrifying, and they do frighten me.
Well, hence the genre horror. If it's horrifying, it's doing its job, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that's Hollywood magic. That's
well,
the people that acted in those movies are still alive and well. They just
right. I forgot because comic characters are real people, and apparently I'm guilty of multiple homicide now. Chris,
yeah.
you remember when you killed Simona because we strong-armed you into it because you refused to do it willingly? Are you guilty of homicide now? because he
No,
killed some.
actually,